the shed itself is more about a community-based centre for anyone.
And we started in collaboration with the Holy Family Centre, where we're based now, with a priest who was here called Father Paul Hanna, who's now retired. But he, like us, was concerned about the high rates of suicide among men, and especially Aboriginal men.
It's a great connection. It's for Aboriginal men to meet, and women now.
The shed's been really good for community access, so a lot more people feel more comfortable to come out here in much more of a social setting rather than going to a medical centre or a clinical practice where they can feel a bit intimidated.
We've assisted dads to regain contact to their children. Children have been removed and we're supporting people after orders are in place to increase contact and to look at reversing some of those orders so children might come back to families. And we achieve that engagement by standing side by side with Aboriginal organisations and Aboriginal workers. That's the only way.
Well, it's a place for people to come and socialise, mate. You know, we've got a lot of things here. We've got podiatrists come, we've got settling come. And this place is mainly for people that just want to come up for a yarn, a piece, every Wednesday Big Feeder, and they all seem to enjoy that.
A lot of cases we're doing here is young mums that are pregnant that are at risk of losing their children to Family and Community Services, and this is a service that's we're able to support them to be able to retain their babies.
Oh, it's everything to me. Without the shed, I wouldn't have my kids back. I wouldn't have that support. I wouldn't have friends and family. I wouldn't have that without the shed.
At the time when I first came, I was having difficulty in my marriage and I needed someone to talk to. So I came here to get some information or assistance on getting myself through a difficult time.
And I've seen myself over the years, men manage to get housing through the shed, and so they could have their kids safely, not just to get the house, but to keep contact with them so they're able to maintain the house. I've also seen men whose children have been taken away, and of course that happens a lot with Aboriginal people. It always has, sadly, in our situation, and many of the men coming are actually men from the stolen generation, and I've seen quite a few examples of where the lawyers coming here have helped the men, and Rick Welsh, the coordinator, has helped the men to get their children back and help them look after them.
You know, there's structures in place in society that affect our well-being, and if people don't have suitable housing, if they don't have access to income, access to food, shelter and all that sort of stuff, then it'll affect their mental health.
I used to come regularly the first 3 years every week, but it got to where I was getting better in my own self that I didn't need to come as often.
The place is built around people who are struggling with life or have problems in their life that need sorted. For me to do that, to give back is a plus, giving back in a positive way, and making sure men understand that it's, you know, that they can cry, they can talk and so forth and move forward in their lives.